morning to all. Today I am again back with a new video, and in this video today I am going to take up the part 2, that is I am going to continue from where I had stopped in the topic parameterized SQL queries. So in my previous video we had studied about the old method, the old style, where we were providing parameterized SQL query in this format, where F was the format template and S was the tuple containing arguments. So this was our method which we were following. In our respective SQL statement, we used to provide conditions in this way. Select asterisk from data where marks are greater than or equal to %s and section is equal to %s, and within a tuple I used to specify the actual values. Say if I asked marks from the user and section from the user. So this was a tuple containing the two values. Sometimes this would also contain simple marks. So you could also see that it also sometimes contained the actual data values instead of the Python variables or identifiers. Okay, so this was the technique which we followed in the previous method, that is the old style. Now a new style with the new versions of Python, a new and easy to remember style was introduced, that is the new method, where we normally give the format as this way: format template dot format function, and within this you provide the parameters. Format template is there, followed by a period sign and the format method, along with which we are providing some arguments, that is the data values. Okay, so how does this method work? We are going to see it over here. So for SQL, you simply will be writing like this: select asterisk from data where marks are greater than equal to, and instead of giving a %s, you will be simply providing a pair of curly braces like this, and section is equal to pair of curly braces, but because section is a string type data, hence unlike the old method, here you are going to include that within single quotes. In case of the old method, if you provide single quotes here, this would give you an error. So there you should not use any single quotes, but here in the new method you have to use single quotes. Okay, and we close it over here and we type here. So this entire string is your format template, followed by a period sign, and here I will be specifying format, that is the format function, and within the format function I will be specifying the actual data values. That is, for the first one, if I have already asked marks from the user, so I'll be using the terms mark given and section given. Here, before that, already I have asked from these values from the user. and section given also. Enter section. So already these two values are asked from the user and I have provided them as arguments or parameters over here. In place of this, I can also write dot format simple marks and the values according to their data type. If it is a string type value, it has to be enclosed within single quotes, and if it is a numeric values, then no single quotes. It works the same like the old method, only thing is for string type values, for string type parameters, you have to enclose this pair of empty braces within single quotes. Now coming to the next, now rest of the work will be the same, that is data cursor dot execute SQL, then fetching the records, everything is the same, it will be proceeding as usual. Okay. Now in this we will be seeing one more variant where we can use named arguments. Now many a times it is quite possible that you are working with an SQL query which contains a lot of values, where you need to send a lot many arguments, lot many values as parameters or arguments, and hence it becomes very cumbersome to remember where you want what. So suppose for example I have a table now named employee, and to this table I am going to enter values, that is employee code. Let me write everything in small letters. M code, E name, DPT that is department, desig that is designation, salary is for salary. So I have given these 5 fields to this table, that is employees, and now my question is I have to insert a new record. Insert a new record using connectivity. So how am I going to do that? So inserting a new record, we will be seeing it over here. How to insert a new record? SQL will be insert into employee. And because I'll be inserting all these values, hence I don't need to specify values, the field separately over here. I'll simply be using values and bracket open, and within this I start with the very first value, that is employee code. Now my employee code is something which is numeric, so I am just specifying them. These 3 are string and this is again numeric. So over here the first one will be a pair of empty braces without any single quotes. Second one, pair of empty braces within single quotes. Then pair of empty braces again within single quotes because we have department. Same way for designation, and last of all we have salary, that is without single quotes. Close this and close the quotes over here, then dot format. Now within this you have to go on specifying the values which you have asked from the user. Suppose I am simply taking the values directly here, 101, Amit Raj as the name, sales as the department, manager as the designation, and finally salary. this is what I have taken over here. Now students, you can see very easily that simply providing an empty pair, it means that I have to maintain the order over here. That is, first one has to be employee code, second one has to be name, then department, just the way the order in which you have created the structure of the table in MySQL. So in order to remove this confusion, sometimes you may get confused over here which is which. So for removing that confusion, you have an option. That option is to provide named values, named parameters. So let's see that. How to provide named parameters. So for the first one, I can simply type here eCode. Second one, it could be ename. Second one will be ename, but here without the single quotes, because now we are providing named parameters. Next one, DEPT. Next one, desig. Now because these are named parameters, hence we are not going to enclose them within single quotes, because these are like variables, students. Okay, in place of these variables would get replaced by their actual values. So close this over here, followed by dot format, and now I can write the values in any order by using the named parameters. Like I can write ename equals next eCode. Next I can type designation. Next I can type department. And last of all, I can type salary. And close it. So you can see over here that eCode will be matching with this one. That is because we are using named codes, or we are using named parameters over here. So this eCode will be matching with this eCode. Ename it finds over here. Department it finds over here. Designation it finds over here, and finally salary is over here. Now in place of these individual values, you can replace these values by Python variables also. That is, you can write it like this: ename equals, suppose you have saved the name of the employee within a variable named emp name, and you have, and this emp name you have already asked from the user, empnm equals input, enter the name. So using that, you have already asked for the name. Secondly, eCode could be any value like eno. Then next is designation. For designation also you might have created a variable named post. For department, you have created a variable named department or depart. And for the last one, that is salary, you might have created a variable named sal. So here, instead of taking the actual data values, like you can see over here, these are the actual data values. Instead of these constant values, you have taken variables here. These all are Python variables. So you have to make sure that these names are different. These are the parameters which are included within the format function, which are like your, just like we had studied in functions, how we send named arguments. It is also a Python function, students. Format is a Python function which exactly sends your arguments. And because in Python we have the facility of sending named arguments, so we can easily change their places because already each of the arguments contain a name. And these are the parameter names, and these are the actual identifiers within Python which contain the data value if you are asking different values from the user at different times. So normally this insert will be written within a loop, a while loop preferably. You will be asking values from the user every time, and every time that value will be saved into your database. So the practicals we will be seeing in the subsequent online as well as offline lectures. So thank you everyone. We end the class over here.